What's up, people? It's time for What the Fuck Wednesday. It never fails. As soon as that show starts here, everybody start honking their horns and making a bunch of noise. Never freaking fails. Let me see what I'm supposed to have up here. There you go. So today is our relationship advice show. This is every week. We try to do it every Wednesday. Sometimes it's Thursday. Sometimes it's not at all, depending on what's going on. You know how it goes. This is the realities of life. But today we have, it looks like 26 questions. And what happens is these people have sent their questions in advance. So those of you who want to get your question answered on the show, what you need to do is send it in and go to Debsterism.com. I'm sure Shay will put it, throughout the show. It'll be in the chat room. If you're over here on YouTube, you can see it. But it's Debsterism, Debsterism.com, and you'll find the advice submission form there. You just fill it out, press send, and there you go. Their question will be reviewed, and if it's deemed to be something that has general and widespread interest, it will appear on the show. So what happens is my cousin puts a column together for me from the questions that you guys send in. And then she puts them in this document. So I don't see the questions before I read them and answer them on the air live, off the cuff, on the strength of, I think I know what I'm talking about. But I have a story to tell you guys later, but let me just do a couple of questions first. I want to get your opinion on how mean I was, or if I was even mean at all on the scale of 1 to 10. Okay. Question number 1. This is a male in the 35 to 41 age group. He's a white guy from Burlingame, California. Summary of issue. My girlfriend said that I wasn't being considerate, and I need your take on what happened. So my girlfriend decided to sleep in the spare bedroom last night after she went too late with her friend. I was in bed when she got home. The spare bedroom also happens to be my office for work. Around 7:45 this morning, I opened the door gently with my coffee, and she's sitting up and asked me if I came in to get my laptop. I told her I'm coming in to work. Then she goes guns blazing, saying, so what if I was asleep? You would just come in and work and not be considered that I'm sleeping? I paused and I said, but you're awake. I guess that was the wrong thing to say. She basically was telling me that I should respect her space and just take the laptop and go somewhere else to work. I told her I need both of my screens, and she started to get really mad, saying, I've worked on just my laptop before. I told her I have a presentation in front of upper management this morning, and I need both screens. She wanted to say that she needed some me time, and I should respect that. At this point, I was getting annoyed. I said that she can go to the other bedroom or the living room for that. And now she's starting to interfere with my work. That didn't help things. Mind you, she doesn't work on Fridays. She left and then came back. She wanted to see this presentation. It's more like a spreadsheet of over 100 rows and 12 columns. It barely fits on my screen, and this is something I'm presenting to upper management. I know you will tell me if I messed up, and if so, I will apologize earnestly. So was I really not being that considerate? I'm not sure what else I should have done here. It's not like I came in busting through the door loud. I was quiet, but she was already awake. I'm not trying to make excuses or being asked, but I do track her menstrual cycle, which is coming on Tuesday. So this was Friday. Okay. So maybe hormones play a part in this with a question mark and one of those little shrug emojis. You're probably right because a lot of women do get, uh, kind of tense and irritable, uh, a week or so before their cycle comes on. So that is a very strong possibility. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it is a reality for some women. Not all. Usually they need some B vitamin. It's usually a nutritional thing. B vitamins and magnesium tend to help with that. But I'm going to say this. I think you were very calm because I would have went smooth the F off. Because first of all, that's your workspace, okay? She could have got up when she saw that you needed to go to work, needed to work since she don't work on Fridays, and go and lounge her happy ass in the bedroom where she could have closed the door and slept until noon if she wanted to. So to try to like bogart your workspace where you have your two screens and your computer, and especially once you said that you're doing a presentation for your bosses, there's no argument there. There's no argument there. You were nice because I would have said, get your lazy fat ass up and go in the other room then. And I would have grabbed her and pushed her out the door and shut it and locked it. And so she could have been on the other side of the door throwing a fit. It would not have affected me. That's how I do things. I'm not going to discuss it with you. This is my shit. This is my space. And you're intruding on it. You chose to sleep in my workspace. Well, now it's time for me to work. You got to get the fuck out. That's the way that it is. So, like I said, I think you were very gracious and kind and very considerate, way more than I would have been under the circumstances. Because once I would have said I'm coming into work and she said anything else after that, then that would have been my go button pressed, and that would have been it. It would have been on like Donkey Kong from that second on. So, I don't know what kind of stuff you be letting her get away with, but whatever it is, that this is very disrespectful and it's like condescending, and you need to check her ass. I mean, you don't have to cuss her out and all that kind of stuff like that, but you definitely need to have a firm conversation with her and tell her that we're not going to do this again. If you in my workspace and I tell you I need to work, then you're going to get your ass up and you're going to get out of there. And we're not going to have no other conversation about it. You don't like that any day. You don't like that, then get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. That's what you tell her. And she's going to be stunned. And you know what? It'll probably turn her on because you've never talked to her like you have some testosterone before. This whole presentation, the way that you presented this, comes off as kind of weak, dude. I mean, I hate to tell you, it's like weak. You don't let somebody treat you like that. I don't care if it's your mother, your sibling, your child, your woman, your brother, your daddy, your mother. I don't care who it is. This is your space, designated space for you to work. There's no conversation that should take place after you say you need your workspace to work. Are you feeling me? So this was crazy. This chick was crazy. Hey, style. I don't know what she wants, but it's like, she just would have got, it wouldn't have been pretty. Let me just put it that way. She probably would have ran to the bedroom in tears when I got through with her. Because I want to go find her and cuss her out now on his behalf, because she just did the most. Let's move on to question number 2. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group. She's Asian from the UK. Summary of issue: how can I stand up for myself and respond to someone who's harassing me on public transportation? Girl, if I had the answer to every situation of that, I'd be a bazillion, trillion, double bazillionaire. I'm 21 years old and I just got harassed on public transport. And I was so anxious that I couldn't say anything. I got on the subway and this guy, I'm thinking he's like in his 40s. He had a disheveled appearance and looked like he was on drugs. He stood in front of me and started saying, Miss, I like your boots. I am a small-framed Asian female. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading this. Oh, something happened here. I stayed polite and simply said, okay, thanks, and looked away and then started acting like I was busy on my phone. I didn't want to move because I was scared he would follow me. So I thought he'd just leave me alone if I stopped paying attention to him. However, he didn't leave me alone, and he kept asking me questions about my boots and kept calling me Miss, and getting nearer to my face. After a few minutes, he moved away but was still near me and kept staring at me. Thankfully, this older black lady who was sitting next to me told him to leave me alone and to move far away from me, and he did. But without this woman, that man would have stayed there and harassed me until I got off because I was too scared to say anything. I can usually handle it when people harass me on the street, but on public transport, I feel like I'm stuck. What's the best way to respond to someone harassing you like that? First of all, if you that small, get your ass into some kind of kung fu judo, something, so you can like flip a motherfucker, punch him in the throat, do something to protect yourself. You only need 1 or 2 moves to disable them. But if you're that little, you're gonna need to do something. So I highly suggest that you enroll in that class like tomorrow. Okay, now as far as when you have these kind of situations like that, don't they have station agents in those places? Can't you pick up your phone and call the police? I mean, what if you felt threatened since he kept easing up on you and getting in your face. So, see, I don't like these kind of people like that to get too close to me. Like by the time they get into my space, personal space where they can reach out and touch me, that's too goddamn close. So you're not going to touch me. You're not going to grab me. You're not going to rub on me. You're not going to pull my hair. You're not going to do nothing like that. So I always keep a distance between me and what I perceive to be a threat of a minimum of, this arm reach thing, usually 2 or 3. The fact that, what bothers me so much about you young girls is that y'all don't never say no and stop to these people. You need to practice that. So, he's coming up to you talking about, Miss, I like your boots. And, I mean, like, I don't give a fuck what you like. Get the hell out of my face. It's not like your big ass could fit them. Fred Flintstone ass feet. Get out of here. Or, you say, well, that's nice, but I don't want you talking to me. I want you to go on over there back where you came from and leave me the fuck alone. You understand? Something like that. Or he starts, can I talk to you? What did you say he said? You thinking if you just sit there passively that he's going to go away. That's not how it works. When you act passive, they know that you're scared, and that emboldens them, and that they up the ante then. So your thinking on this was exactly backwards. What you have to do is stand up to them verbally and, just tell them to leave you alone. So just tell them stop if they get too close. You tell them move away from me. You in my personal space. You're violating my boundaries. You name the behavior. That's one of the lesson I gave in when I talked about girls who say, well, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. I hate that damn phrase. You don't ever say you're uncomfortable. You name the behavior that they're doing and how it's impacting you. Like, you're doing this and that. You're violating my personal space. I want you to back up. Or they're talking to you crazy. You're being really disrespectful right now. I don't appreciate it. I want you to get the fuck out of my face and stop talking to me. You give them commands, and then you're saying no and shutting it down. If you never say no, you never say stop, you never say don't talk to me like that, you never say get away from me, you never say anything, then and I'm not saying they have good sense, and I'm not saying this is right. I'm just telling you how these people's minds work. They think that you're okay with it. This is the same thing that goes on in relationships. Your kids, if you're a parent, will think the same thing because you never say no, you never draw a line in the sand, and you never set a boundary. So whether anybody, that's what I'm saying. It could be your spouse, it could be some bum on the street, on the subway, whatever. It could be your own children. If you, as a woman, do not back people the fuck up off of you and tell them what they're not going to do and how they're not going to talk to you and how you're not going to accept it, then, you're basically just going along with it, and they just think, well, she didn't say no, she didn't say stop, so she must be okay with it. Yes, going smooth off. I'm telling you, the girls in Oakland, the girls in Oakland have that shit mastered to a T. And it's like these little itty bitty girls. They're small, but the way that they go off on these men, you would think they was about 8 feet 12. The way they be going off, and their voice gets loud and like gravelly and guttery, and they just say so many foul, funky things. And the dudes just be sitting there blinking like this, just looking like, what just happened? And they don't take it. They are not about that life. So, I'm not saying you have to be that hard and cold, but you guys, you ladies, you need to learn some of that. Every woman needs to learn how to say no, have some firm boundaries, and back fools up off of her. So if you never say no and you never tell them that, to stop, it becomes an interesting thing if something happens and the law gets involved. Well, did you ever tell them that you didn't like it or to stop? Same thing on jobs. You know, they're sexually harassing you. Did you ever tell them to stop, not to do that particular behavior to you? HR is going to ask you. The attorney that you may hire is going to ask you. And if you always say no, they're going to be looking at you all kind of crazy. Well, how was he supposed to know that you didn't appreciate his advances? Because it's a lot of inner office and, whatever romances. So, how are they supposed to know that? If he's interested in you and he shoots his shot and you just don't say nothing, then what are you communicating? So that's why I said you need to learn how to talk. Open your damn mouth. You open your mouth to talk about stupid shit like hair dye and hairstyles and fashion and stuff. Open your mouth to talk about something that's going to protect your body and your integrity and your self-esteem. Okay, speaking of which, okay, now I'm going to tell y'all my story. Okay. I do this contract work, right? Okay, so I have been working in corporate America since I'm 16 years old. Okay, got my first job at a brokerage firm. I have never really worked with people with disabilities. Do you know that? You work in law firms, you can't work in a law firm. And, you could be like in a wheelchair or something, but your mind and your speaking and stuff got to be right. You got to be able to see because you got to read all them, pleadings and whatnot. So, I'm sure there's somewhere in the world, there's, some blind and some other way disabled attorneys and doctors and all this kind of stuff. But I've never worked with any. That's what I'm saying. And I've been working since I was 16 and my ass is old. Okay, so now I'm in a situation where, I'm on this committee and there's, people from this organization that does a lot of work with disabled people. So I'm learning, the proper lingo and all this kind of stuff. And it's been a real education. Okay, but the company that I'm working with only uses Microsoft Outlook, which most corporations around the world use, Microsoft products. And so she was complaining in this meeting that she didn't get the agenda and, that the invitation came with the little ICO thing where you have to download it and, put in your calendar and all this kind of stuff. And she was complaining. And she wanted me to send her the agenda separately. And I said, no. I said, I'm not going to do that. And she said, this wasn't going to just be a one-time thing. This is going to be for every meeting. I'm like, I'm not going to commit to that. And so then she's like, well, but I have all these problems and I did this and that. And I'm just sitting there and I said, you know what? If you opt to use you using something other than what the major players at this table are using, that was a personal decision, and it's also a personal problem because are you going to continue to have the same issue? Because that's the only way I'm going to calendar these meetings. I'm not going to be doing anything 2 or 3 times to please everybody at this table. It's going to be done once. So either you figure out how to get Microsoft Office or you keep on doing it the way that you're doing. I don't know what else to tell you because your special request right here is not going to be met, not by me. Why did I say that? So this other lady, and she talks with one of those things in her mouth, like a little tube or something. I don't know how this was working out. Like I said, this is all new to me. So, but she was talking and she had this thing in her mouth and she was like, basically telling me that I'm all fucked up and that I need some disability sensitivity training. That's what she was basically. She didn't say my name, but I know, you know how that is. She was a sister, we catch stuff. We know what's going on. You could tell by the tone that she was calling herself admonishing me. And so then I just looked at it and I said, well, the same thing goes for you. It's like, I'm not going to take any sensitivity training because this isn't a sensitivity issue. This is an issue where someone is making an independent decision to do something that's totally outside the box of what everybody else is doing. They've created a situation and a problem for themselves that they want to dump in my lap to solve. And I'm telling you both, I'm not going to do it. And it's not going to happen. And I don't care. You're just going to deal with it. And that's just how it is. So, and they say my name is Mud. And the guy that was hired me, he was like, did you have to say it like that? I said, yeah, I did need to say it like that. Because these are people who are supposed to be learning how to be, their whole focus of this organization is independence for people with disabilities. I said, this is what they're teaching. These are what their program is about. These are what their courses are about. Everything that they do is about, that focus. But yet at this table, we have 2 people who want special dispensation and for me to go out of my way to make life easier for them because they have a disability. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to do it. They gonna either get with the program and get office, or they just gonna continue having that jack leg, patchwork way that they doing things. I don't really care because I'm gonna create the thing. It's gonna go out to 400 or 500 people, and that's all I'm going to do. And so they were just sitting there looking. Yeah, so they did not like that. But have I ever backed down? Do I ever go out of my way to do something? If I really like you and it's you a personal friend or something, like Shay, I'll go out of my way to do stuff for her. But like when for our family and stuff, everybody else, these people at these little jobs and stuff, I'm like, I'll be nice to you, but I'm not gonna go out my way for you. And that's what happened. So they got told. So what's the vote? Was I mean or was that appropriate? You guys can check I'll look at it later after the show to see what your vote is. Because, I don't mind if you say that was me. You can, say what you want to say. You know me, it's not going to change nothing because I've already said what I said. But I just want to get your opinion on it. Because, like I said, this is new for me. I've never worked with people with disabilities before. And, 99% of it was just cool. It's just these two women. Out of all the ones I've met so far, these two women got on my goddamn nerves. Okay, so here we go. Question number 3. This is a male in the 20 to 32 age group. He's African American from Kansas City, Kansas. Coming of issue, my girlfriend wrecked our vacation. For months and months, she knew we were going on a beach trip, and while I used that as a reason to stay in good shape, she did the exact opposite. And when she got on the scale prior to our trip, she found out she was 209 pounds at 5'6". Dang, she's my height and weighed 209. It threw her for a loop. It was like pulling teeth to get her to even agree to go on a trip. And then once we got there, she wouldn't wear any kind of swimsuit. She didn't want to leave the room. When I tried to do my own thing, I was called unloving and unsupportive. After a few days of this, I told her gently as I could that there was nothing we could do about her weight at the moment, so we should try to enjoy the trip. She used the quote, "I'm big and fat," end quote, as her reasoning and excuse for everything. So our beach trip became sitting in the hotel while she was upset. Wow. At the end of the trip, she asked if I was upset with her. I told her I was irritated that we wasted a trip, and I reminded her that she had a good amount of time to get in shape. She took these comments as malicious and now won't respond to calls or texts. How do I fix this issue? Send her a box of Oreos and some cookies and a scale and say, just work it out, girlfriend. But until you get your mind right, don't call me, and this is good. I'm very happy with this. I'm going to go back to the beach, and I'm going to take somebody who takes the trip seriously and who is in shape and wears bikinis and stuff. That's what I'm going to do. I would fuck her mind up. First of all, how you going to sit up in the hotel room and you at the beach? She could have put on a muumuu or something, whatever they call them. She was like, I don't know. I'm just like, I can't be sympathetic to people. Oh, there's my glue. I see it on the shelf up there. I was looking for it everywhere. I just can't with these people that look for all this kind of coddling and stuff like they're 2 years old. You, again, another dude who's really nice. You were supposed to get your stuff, get dressed, and hit the bars, hit the beach, do everything you wanted to do on your vacation. If she chose to spend her vacation in a hotel room, good for her. Are you feeling me? You should never have allowed her decision to eat cookies and donuts and not exercise to impact your trip. She would have just been in the room by herself, mad by herself, in the air conditioning or whatever. I wouldn't have been tripping. I would have came back and she'd been like, oh, you unloving and unsupportive. I sure am. While you eating cookies and shit, I was over there exercising so I could go to the beach and be happy on the beach, you understand? In my swim trunks. You didn't want to do that, so now you mad because you look like puffing stuff. She wouldn't want me to be her boyfriend because popping fresh and shit. Well, that's what I'm saying, but he let her do it. So, he's supposed to look at her and be like, oh, somebody's on my team. Look up there. I just saw Cece's comment. I have to scroll up, Cece. I have to scroll up so I can see it now. I can't wait till the show is over. I have to see it right now. Uh-huh. Yep. Yes, child. I'm not that one. I just whatever she is, she's some little popping fresh Keebler elf looking chick. I don't know, but that's her fault. I got me a swimsuit. I ordered it on Amazon. It's like burgundy red and it looks cute. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going on a trip next month down to Southern California. I'm going to see a friend of mine. my Egyptian friend. I haven't seen him for a while. So anyway, yes, let's move on. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's Caucasian from Southern California. Summary of issue: looking for advice on handling a friend who constantly complaining about how hard it is to be a white cis straight male in 2023. You can't be serious. You are actually worried about how to talk to him. What you do is tell him to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down and stop fucking complaining with his little cis straight white European ass. That's what you do. So you at the top of the food chain if you choose to be, with all the racism and sexism and stuff in this world. You at the top of the food chain. Or you want to sit there and whine and act like a big ass baby? I can't even read your letter because just thinking about him whining about this makes me want to go to wherever you are, Southern California, find him and cuss him out. I cannot. As a black woman, do you think I want to hear white male whining about anything? Not in this racist ass country. Don't come to me with that shit. Do not. Girl, I mean, I know you trying to get a straight answer and stuff, and that's why you wrote to me, but this was not, no. I can't. I cannot do this question. Because this will be some stuff that have me cussing like a sailor up here on this microphone for the next 20 minutes. But you just tell him I said just to get the fuck over it, shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. Now, that's my answer to your question. Question number 5. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Independence, Missouri. The male is 28 to 34. Summary of issue: my husband called me ugly in front of his friends. Ooh, wait a minute. And now I don't know how to feel about it. You don't? Is he still got all his teeth? He's still like breathing and stuff? Interesting. Last week, my husband asked if I was okay with having his friends come over because our baby girl is only 8 weeks old and we haven't been getting much sleep and we're very tired most of the day. I told him it was okay because he hasn't seen his friends and lately he hasn't had any fun. He just spends his time cooking, doing the laundry, taking care of our kid and me. So I wanted him to have fun and relax for a few hours. Well, his friends had dinner at our house and I stayed in our room until at one point I went downstairs to get my phone charger and I heard them talking. The wife of one of his friends is pregnant and they were talking about it. And I heard perfectly how my husband said that pregnancy is, quote, the best thing that happened to me, end quote, because he finds me much hotter now that much hotter now, and I was never more beautiful than when I was pregnant and now after giving birth. Well, that sounds like a compliment. And if he had only said that, I would be flattered, since not many men would say something that nice about their wives. But he kept talking and said something like every time he thinks about how I looked when we got married, he thinks I was ugly because now I'm 1,000 times prettier. And honestly, I don't even know why he said that, since I didn't even physically cringe. And at least that's what I think. Okay. This morning, I confronted him and he apologized and said ugly is not the word he should have used, and said that if I had threatened to listen to the whole conversation, I would know that he later said that he regretted having used that word because he also thought I was pretty before getting pregnant, but now he thinks I'm prettier and hotter because there's something that, quote, turns him on when he thinks about me being a mother to his daughter. And honestly, I don't even know what he meant, and I don't even know if I should believe that either. You stupid. I just know that hearing him say that hurt my self-esteem a bit, because although he said these things, nice things, I can only think that he called me ugly. And I can tell that he feels horrible for hurting me, but I don't know what to tell him because honestly what he said doesn't even make sense. I want to believe him and think that I'm just overreacting and being overly sensitive, but at the same time, I remember that he called me that and I feel horrible. Should I let it go and do it and have a good reason to feel hurt? No, you're just being stupid and immature and just dumb. Okay, what the man is saying is that you were gorgeous before, but that maturity and motherhood has made you blossom. The beauty that you have now is so far surpasses what you had on the day he married you, when he thought you were a beautiful woman, but now you're stunning. That's what the fuck he's telling your dumb ass. And you don't even get it. You stuck on the word that he said ugly. And that was I have to admit, it was a poor choice of word. But what he was doing was comparing what he thought was pretty then to what now is just like unbelievably gorgeous, beautiful, mature, all these kind of things that he sees you in a different light. and he thinks that you're much hotter than you ever were before. You, with your low self-esteem having ass, can't understand that because you just stuck on that one stupid word that he used, ugly. He, like I said, that was a poor choice of words. He admits it was a poor choice of words, but that's not what he meant. And if you get out your feelings for 30 seconds, you could realize that your husband loves you, he adores you, he thinks you're hot. It's time, and he's burning with passion for you. But you gonna fuck it up with your attitude. Okay? Sit your ass down and be quiet. Accept the fact that your husband thinks you're gorgeous, that your figure has changed because you're somebody's mother now. Usually after pregnancy, your little face is fuller, your bosoms are fuller. Your body just looks a little different because you're making milk and, you're still getting over the hormone shifts and all this kind of stuff. So you look different. And your husband admires what you look like, which a lot of men are saying that, you just look fat, you look like a cow, you're this and that. They don't like how their wives look pregnant or any other time, after the baby. Yours does. So you need to enjoy it. Just being dumb. Yeah, it was a poor choice of words, but I know what he meant. But, she's focusing only on that word and not anything else that he said. She's focusing only on that one word out of all those thousands of words I'm sure that man said that were complimentary and trying to explain to his friends his appreciation for his wife now that she's a mother. She's not thinking about none of that. All she said, well, he called me ugly. Which he really didn't call you ugly. He said he just thinks that in comparison, he must have thought that you were in comparison to with the beauty that you have now, which is just stunning and just mind-blowing to him. So you just tripping. I can't with you. Question number 6. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's mixed race from Hackensack, New Jersey. The male in question is 28 to 34. He's African American. Summary of issue. Is it time for me to just break up with him? I've been in a relationship for 4 years with my boyfriend, having fights off and on and near breaking it off, but we never have. The type of things we fight about, he gets mad at me for taking a nap. Not going to the gym every day or eating stuff that he deems unhealthy. He said he hates laziness, but I work 40 hours a week in a high activity job, so when I get home or have days off, I'm tired. I feel so worthless and not valued in this relationship. Any thoughts? Dump that fool. See, me, yeah, I don't know. It's just me. I've just never been, with men, see, my thing is I'm with a dude, he better worship the ground that I walk on. Everything, my farts are gold flaked. You know what I mean? I have the most fabulous farts that there ever was in the history of the world. It's just mesmerizing. It's fascinating. How could I fart gold flakes and it smells like roses? That's what I better hear from that motherfucker. So if any man that I'm with and he starts criticizing me, he's got any kind of comments that's, trying to put me down, trying to make anything that I like, drink, eat, wear, whatever, make criticism about it, he's out of my life. Just like that. And some people say, well, that's narcissistic. What the fuck ever. I'm not on this planet to get abused and to hear men's unasked for opinions about what I like, what I do, what I wear, where I go, my friends, what I read, what I listen to on the radio, what I drive, nothing. You don't get to criticize the shit I do. If I ask you for your opinion, then you better give it, but it better be your words better be measured carefully. But other than that, I don't give a fuck what you think because I didn't ask you. And I don't want to know, and it's not going to impact what I do at all. You're here in the periphery of my life. You better enjoy it because that's the best you're going to get. I do not put men into the center of my world. I just don't. Even when I was married, I didn't. I don't do that. Deb is at the center of Deb's world, and everybody else is on the outside. So, some are going to be closer than others, but I can't put any man in a position where I'm going to have him, trying to impact my self-esteem, my thoughts about myself, my goals, my interests, my happiness, my joy, nothing. You don't get to do that. So the second they say anything that I don't like, I'm gone. Or anyway, somebody gone, me or him. It's over. I'm telling you. My gold flake farts. That's it. But yeah, I don't do this kind of stuff. And you ladies, you feel like she said she feels worthless. That's because you sat there and you let him talk to you crazy like that, and you listen to his fucked up criticisms, and what he had to say. You supposed to tell him, I don't give a fuck what I'll eat. You want to eat whatever you think is healthy, that's your red wagon. It's my body, it's my money, and I'm going to eat what the fuck I want to eat. And you don't like it, there's the door. I love that phrase. There's the door. Hit it. So I don't know. Yes, it's been time to break up with him. Like I said, for me, the first time he did something like that, it would have been over. I'm not going to fight with you about what I like. I'm not going to argue with you and try to defend my choices. You going to like him or you going to get the hell out of my life. Those are your only two choices. Question number 7. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Quebec City, Quebec in Canada. Summary of issue. After just 3 dates, do I owe this guy a follow-up conversation after ending it? I went on 3 dates with a guy. He's nice and we do have a few things in common. It was definitely not fireworks for me, but I wanted to give it some time to see if maybe that changed. I was considering giving it one more date, but ... I've gotten really busy. I mean, like insanely busy. So I decided to pause dating entirely. I sent him a text message to let him know. Hey, hope you're doing well. Sorry it took me a few days to reply to your last text. Things have been really busy for me. After reflecting, I've realized I just don't have the time to date right now. I'm pausing the whole dating thing entirely. Wish you all the best. I thought that would be the end of it. Maybe I'd get a thanks, good luck to you too. Instead, he started texting, quote, let's talk about this. And then he called. And then he called again. And then he called again. I was driving at the time, so I didn't even see the text messages or the missed calls until I got home. I keep my phone off in the car. Smart girl. That's a safety thing. I haven't replied to him. We haven't spoken. But I'm not interested in negotiating. It's a no for me. I was pretty clear and direct in my last text message. I'm not dating him or anyone else. Do I owe this guy a follow-up conversation? No, what you owe him is a block and delete, which is what you should have done. See, what is it with you girls and you're being allergic to blocking folks? I don't understand this. You don't want to be bothered with him no more. So why did you leave it so he could still call you and text you? What did you do that for? I don't understand you girls. You supposed to, the second that you dismiss someone from your life, you delete, block, whatever you're going to do so they can't bother you anymore. You do that right away. The fact that you guys always leave the door open and didn't want to write me and waste my time talking about what they stupid shit that they did and how you let them do it because you left their number available to call you. Well, I mean, you asked for this problem. You do this to yourselves by not blocking them. You create the space for this kind of problem to come into your life because you don't refuse to block people. I don't know what the fuck y'all be doing. Block should be your favorite friend, especially if you're doing this online dating. Everybody should get blocked. I'm trying to tell you, block party for days. I don't understand it. They're seriously, guys, have you guys noticed that? They seem to be allergic to it or like they don't even know that it exists or so. I'm not sure what's going on. But time after time is, he texted me, or it was 2 years later and my ex called me. Why is your ex able to get in touch with you? Every so many months I go through my phone and just like, who is that? Block. I don't even know who the fuck that is. Delete. Stuff like that. And I don't answer calls if somebody's name I know don't pop up or a business name, I don't answer the phone. You're going to go right to voicemail, then I'll screen my call. So I don't understand what y'all be doing. You need to start blocking folks. Question number 8. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from Lompoc, California. Summary of issues. Something doesn't feel right about my new boyfriend. I've been seeing someone for a few weeks. Amazing chemistry. He's very attractive, very calm and good at reassuring me, but something doesn't feel right. I can't explain it any more than that. I don't know what it is. Not sure what to do either than end it, but it seems a bit odd when it's just a funny feeling. Is this what they call female intuition, or am I just weird? Nope. What I call your spidey senses are tingling. Dump him. This is for your own safety. If you don't understand that, read Gavin DeBecker's book called The Gift of Fear. Read that from cover to cover. He has like a whole series of them. But that was the first one, and to me, that was the best one. And it talks about how women feel feelings like this, unsettled, uneasy, and it's fear at the base of it because you don't trust this person. This person's giving off weird vibes, and something is off. And women feel it. But inevitably, they tamp it down. They, like you doing, second guessing yourself, telling yourself you shouldn't feel that way. And the next thing you know, you waking up dead. You may find your body in a shallow grave, or they don't find you at all. And then, in them critical moments, you were thinking, damn it, I knew I shouldn't have been around with this fool. I don't know why I didn't listen. So I'm just going to say this: listen to yourself. Trust yourself. Yourself is warning you that there's something weird about this dude. And I know this one lady wrote, she was talking about the same situation happened. And a year or two later, she found out dude was on the news for having some bodies buried in his yard. And she was like, oh my God, that could have been me. But she had the funny feeling. She tuned into it and she deuced out and told him that, she was getting back with her ex or something, like some excuse she made up. So she dipped out on dude, and then he had bodies in his yard of women. So, listen to yourself, trust yourself, and whatever you doing with him, don't do it anymore. Question number 9. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Austin, Texas. Summary of issue. This is my rant about men and dating and the fact that women do not want to freaking, quote, hang out, end quote. She right. I wrote it. Didn't I talk about that on one of the video? Beautiful orchid. It is a phrase. Okay, it's a phrase. You don't get it it's not a logical phrase, but you understand the concept, right? It's one of them things that Deborah does. Okay, so let's see what she says. Dating these days is so fucked. I am 28, not a high school student, but still every guy asks me to, quote, hang out. They don't have plans. They don't have any clue about what we're going to do. They just want to hang out aimlessly. And typically that consists of being at your house because they have a shitty, dirty apartment or have roommates. And then when you ask them, what do you want to do? They say, whatever you want to do. Or they say, go get drinks or go to a bar because they don't know anything to do except to try to get you intoxicated. They claim they are searching for a relationship and the love of their life, but they have no idea how to woo a woman or keep her interest. I need mentally stimulating men, and they deserve a mentally stimulating woman as well. Looks matter, but not as much as the conversation. What do you think of this? I did a rant on this in one of my videos. I need to find it so I can make it a short. But it's the same thing. I said the exact same thing. That women can't respect a man who asks them out, says, let's get together, let's do this, let's do something. And then when he comes, he picks her up or they meet up or something. Well, she says, she's like, well, what are we going to do? Oh, I don't know. Whatever you want to do. Or what do you feel like doing? Okay, wait. You asked me out and this is the best you could do? See, I would get up and leave. I'm like, you stupid. I don't have time for this bullshit. But, as a man, if you want to take a young lady out, let me tell you, I'm going to do what I said in the other video. This is your script. You call her up. Her name is Barbara. Hi, Barbara. This is Derek. I said Derek because it starts with a D like me. Okay, this is Derek. How you doing? What's going on? How was work today? All the usual frivolities. And then you say, Barb, I was thinking about taking you to see this jazz show on Saturday night. I figured we could start with dinner. Then we could listen to the show and maybe go for a walk in the moonlight. Right there by the bay, the stars are out. It's supposed to be a full moon that night. That might be nice, and the weather's still good. What do you think? And she's going to say, oh, that sounds lovely. That sounds wonderful. And he's going to be, so he's going to be great. And let's see, the show starts at 7:30, so how about we have dinner at 6? I'll pick you up at 5:30. And she's going to say, okay. Now, what did that accomplish? That lets her know what's on the agenda. She can approximate what time she would be home. She knows how to dress because he's given her the agenda for the day. She knows he's going to pick her up, so she can just relax into her femininity. He's got the shit handled. She don't have to do nothing. She have to make no decisions. All she has to do is show up, flirt, and be beautiful for Derek. Entertaining and beautiful for Derek. And give Derek a fun date. That's what she's doing. That's her sole role for the evening if the man handles it right. Of those of you who not only don't call the woman you want to text her and ask her out, what are you, fucking 5? You never ask a girl out by text. That is so stupid. So like 13 years oldish. You a grown-ass man with a job and working in tech and professions and doing stuff, and you want to ask a woman out by text? You're a loser, sir. You have no courage, no spine, no nothing. And no woman is going to take you seriously. And if you get one who does take you seriously, she's going to be a fucked up bitch. And you're going to be just running from her at short order because you didn't handle yourself like a G. You handle yourself like a G, you're going to G level women. You handle yourself like a loser, you're going to get loser broads because they don't have any self-esteem or know what they're supposed to be doing either. And so it's going to be two losers together. So versus if you handle yourself right, you're going to get a woman of class and style and quality that you would love to bring around your family. Okay? She'll fit in. She's at your level. You treated her right. So, this is something that fathers used to teach their sons, but of course, there's so many fathers absent these days. They don't teach their sons these things. And so the sons don't know. They model after other stupid fools that they know, texting girls for dates and saying inappropriate things and sending D pics and sliding into people's DMs and all this low-level roach type male behavior is not good. Okay, it does not endear you to women and it makes you look like garbage. All those of you listening to this, please stop behaving that way. Elevate yourselves as a man and elevate your game and the way you interact with women. You'll attract higher quality women. You'll acquire higher quality dates and you'll eventually find a higher quality relationship because you've leveled up. You behave like a gutter hood rat, you're going to get gutter hood rat level women. Of course, some of you that might be okay because you don't really care. But I think most dudes do. They're not trying to be with women like that. Then the kind of get, you did dealing with them for 2 months and she turned up pregnant and sock it to you for child support for $3,000 a month and you don't even know the bitch's middle name, but you were stupid. Question number 10. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Memphis, Tennessee. Summary of issue. My now ex-boyfriend says I'm being unfair for breaking up with him because he smokes the Herbalicious. How do I continue? You don't. Okay, we've been together for nearly a year, but the last few days were uncomfortable for me. We had talked about his usage of D, including Herbalicious, during the early date. He told me that he's not into that and that he doesn't smoke regularly. He even said that he quit after being a daily smoker. I was fine with that, but Dad, my mom is an addict, so I developed trauma with particular behaviors associated with that lifestyle. For example, when my mom would run out of stuff, she turned into a completely different person, and that would just mess me up. I made a boundary and a vow to myself that I'm not going to be with someone whose behavior puts me through that same thing as my mom's did. I made that crystal clear to him. But as the relationship went by, I noticed him starting to smoke on a weekly basis. At first, I didn't make a big deal of it. Mistake. Brushed it off with a simple good night, talk to you in the morning. Okay. However, the abrupt change in his behavior made me feel super uncomfortable. I could tell he had smoked immediately. The chat would get super slow. He'd take 4 or 5 minutes to type okay and would skip questions and the like. It was obvious. I couldn't have a normal conversation with him. Normal conversations don't take place by text. Conversations are, words. Texting is not a conversation. Okay, so let's just correct that. Again, I was stupid. Yep, no fight from me about that. And I didn't pay much mind to it, and I didn't want to nag him about it. The next morning, I told him that it felt slightly. Okay, you just went on and on. So anyway, about this dude. Although I wish I could stay and put up with it, I made it clear from the very beginning. I think he's being anything but unfair. I'm being anything but unfair. But now I'm sad, confused, and I don't know how to proceed. I would love your input on this. Thank you. Okay, first of all, you say that you made a vow and a boundary. And then you start saying, well, I just overlooked it. I just let it go. I didn't do anything. Okay, so which one is it? A vow and a boundary is written in stone. But you didn't do that. As soon as you were faced with the realities of somebody doing the exact thing that you said that you don't want your man to do, then what did you do? You didn't do shit. You waited and waited and waited and waited until almost a year went by, and now you want to take action, and that's why he's upset, because you was okay with it for a whole year when he was doing it. So what's the difference now? That's where he is with it, and I understand why he's on that, in that mindset. If you found out as soon as he did it, after he said he quit and he did it, that's when you were supposed to break up with him. But you didn't do that. Again, a young lady who says one thing and does another. When you do that, you teach men and anybody else that you interact with like that you don't mean what you say and that they can just bullshit you whenever they want to. Or they can just wheedle and whine and that you'll eventually give in, which is what most of you do. And your kids treat you the same way because you don't have a spine. Your no don't mean shit. Your boundaries are just like writ on water. That's how fluid they are. And you say stuff and you have a big bark, but you a chihuahua. When it comes time to like actually put some strength behind your words, you just a chihuahua. Just yapping, not doing nothing, just yapping. And somebody just drop kick your little ass, you go flying across the room, but you yapping. So it's like, why say you have these boundaries if you're not going to follow through? That is the key to life. What you say is a boundary and a rule. And if you violate this and this is going to happen, you have to follow through, ladies. If the first time that he does it and you don't follow through, you have now taught this man that you don't mean shit that you say, and he's going to crack his knuckles and go in on you. And that's what happened. He just kept upping the ante because you didn't do shit. You didn't mean a word of what you said. My goodness. Oh, let me turn this light on. There we go. That's better. All right. So question number 11, this is a female to 35 to 42 age group from the UK. Summary of issue, the silent treatment. I'm on the 5th day of the silent treatment from my partner. Ooh, girl. That is like the best. Whenever I'm looking forward to something, he ruins it or does this. It was my oldest daughter's 18th birthday last weekend. I had a night out planned with her and her friends, which he was aware of and coming to. In the morning, he just woke up and stopped speaking to me. I asked him what the matter was, and he said nothing. He just didn't have anything to say. Something was clearly the matter, and it made me feel uncomfortable all night. I'm sick of him ruining things. I check plans, and he agrees, and then he comes to it. When it comes to it, he goes quiet and has a face on him. When I'm asked what's wrong, he says nothing. I just feel like he's so selfish, and if it's something he doesn't really want to be doing, even if it's for the kids, he ruins it. If I just stop involving him, I have to take the kids, younger than 18-year-old, to things on my own, and it's hard work. And should he get to opt out, it just feels like he's won. You stupid. I hate getting the silent treatment. I can't sleep or concentrate. I'm just wanting to rant because I feel so sad. You know the reason why he does this? Because he gets your goat. He does this because he knows it bothers you. If you start running around the house singing or he gets quiet, you blast the music and you and the girls start dancing, have a dance party and stuff, and completely ignore him. And when you go to sleep and you sleep sound as a baby, put your little blinder things on and your earplugs in and just knock out and get up in the morning singing and just acting just like happy as a clam and totally ignoring his ass, you know what? He would stop doing that because he wouldn't be getting the reward that he's getting now, which is yanking your chain. So he gets to yank your chain to see you run around and be all disturbed and can't sleep and can't eat and be mad and all that stuff. That's his reward for not talking to you. And you, like a dummy, just give it to him every time. You need to learn how to manipulate back. So when people try to manipulate you, you do that double reverse Uno and you show them how it's done, son. So you should have been like, oh, look to the girls. Look, daddy's over there pouting like a toddler instead of using his words. He's over there pouting. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to have a good time today, and we're not going to include him. Nobody talk to him. Just ignore him. Just pretend he's not even there. And when he grows up and learns how to use his words again and becomes a big boy, a real boy versus a wooden Pinocchio boy, then we can talk to him. But until then, he doesn't exist, so ignore him completely, and let's just get our things and get ready to go. Of course, that's emotional abuse, but it's only see, this is the thing about these kind of dudes. It's only abusive if you buy into it. Otherwise, he's just playing a stupid game all by himself. You guys understand what I'm saying? I've been talking to you about this kind of stuff for years now. Controlling your emotions is your key to success in life when you're dealing with not only men, but anybody. You have to control your emotions. You don't let people yank your chain like that. You shut that shit down, just like I did with the blind lady, trying to get all antsy and stuff and thinking I was gonna be jumping through hoops for her ass about Microsoft Office. No, you gonna jump through a hoop for me, or you just gonna keep jumping through a hoop over there by yourself? I really don't care because what I'm just telling you right now is not gonna change nothing over here. That's what I was trying to communicate to her and what I was sharing with you. That's how you have to handle people. You cannot let them yank your chain like this. And that's what this woman is, the mistake that she's making. Her husband is doing this to her because he knows it gets her goat. The second she stops letting it get her goat, then he will stop doing it because he won't be getting the payoff that he's been getting, the reward. He won't be getting it. She'll just be looking at him like, or saying, calling up our friends, girl, it's been so quiet without that motherfucker running his mouth and complaining about every goddamn thing. I love it when he goes on the silent treatment. It's so peaceful around here. Stuff like that. Let him hear her say stuff like that to her friends. Yeah, girl, why don't you guys come over? I got a couple of good bottles of wine. I'll just send him to the bedroom since he ain't saying shit anyway. He just may as well go in there and go to sleep. And we can take over the living room and have us some fun. Bring your new music. You got some Usher? What you got? I'm just like, y'all need to learn how to get better game. You be dealing with these knuckleheads. Question number 12. This is a young lady in the 28 to 34 age group from the UK. Summary of issue. Am I overthinking or should I be concerned? Me and my partner have been together for 4 years. We got 2 girls, a home, a happy life, so I thought. When I was pregnant with our second, I found out he was trying to meet up with another woman. I confronted him and decided to work through it. 2 weeks later, I found messages on his phone with a female colleague, inappropriately talking. I suppose it's called sexting. I once again confronted him, and he said it was all talk and banter. Nothing happened. I was 7 months pregnant. As you can imagine, I felt very vulnerable. I said it was over. However, he managed to persuade me to stay one more time. Here we are 1 year down the line, and last night was the first time I felt something a little off since that situation. The last few days, he's been going for runs, only about 30 minutes. He went out last night, too, a little later than normal. It was longer, too, so I checked to find my phone and saw where he was and he would run to, but it was stationary for a pretty long time. So I phoned and didn't answer, but phoned back straight away and was walking. He said he stopped because his knee was hurting and was watching some kids jump in the river. It was dark out, so how is that even possible? So he gets home and he's acting odd. And I said, well, why didn't you answer the first time? And he goes on to say he was shaking his shoe off because he has a blister. But when he phoned me back within seconds of missing my call, he was already walking, almost like he started moving because I phoned. Anyway, he assumes I'm assuming the worst of his bias. Just spit it out. I know what you're thinking, just accusing me. I didn't even mention anything. I just asked why he didn't answer. And he says, I will pack my stuff, I will pay the rent, etc. It's like he just goes off on a tangent and throws out that I want him to leave. It's so confusing. So my question is, am I overreacting or is he up to no good once more? I promised myself after pregnancy that if this would ever happen again, I will be leaving, no hesitation. Well, what do you think he's doing? I think he's running to the park because, let me tell you what they have going on in the parks at night. Men go up in there in them bushes and there be other men up in them bushes and they have, 15 minutes of fun and then they go home. He could be jogging his behind to some woman's house or a man's house too. These days you just never know. You just never know what's going on with people. But the fact that it's, 30 minutes or so makes me think that it's a guy. That he's going to some, he take jogging himself to some little hot spot where that kind of wild stuff is going on. So I'm going to suggest to you that you go to the nearest doctor, gynecologist, get all the STD and STI tests that they have run on you. And then you consider if you want to stay married to a man that you don't trust. So I'm not going to get into the minutia of what he's doing, where he's doing it, why he's doing all this stuff. I'm just telling you, you don't trust him, and he's acting very shady, very suspect kind of behavior. And since he's doing all this at night, and he's out, quote, jogging with his little jogging shorts on and stuff like that, I think I'm right. It's like this vision just came to me that that's what he's doing. So, and you just had a baby and all this old stuff here. I wouldn't trust that for any further than I could see it. Question number 13. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Macon, Georgia. Summary of issues: seeing someone new, red flag. I'm being pathetic, I know. I just started seeing this guy. It's been about 2 months, but we've known each other for 2 years through work, and I've liked him the whole time. He seems super excited about me when we are together and when we message throughout the day on WhatsApp. However, I've noticed that he's online a lot but not talking to me, and it can take a while to read and reply to my message. At the bar the other night, he was talking to a mutual friend of ours who is female and attractive, and he seemed a bit flirty with her. I'm just wondering if he seemed to be a bit of a player, telling me what I want to hear when we are together, yet in fact not in it for the long haul. Would you consider these red flags, or should I get a grip of myself? I've come out of a long relationship and now I feel insecure and jealous, and that's not like me. Okay, I'm going to tell you this, young lady from Macon, Georgia. I just started seeing this guy. It's been 2 months. It don't sound like he your man, right? Because y'all ain't had that conversation about y'all going to be a couple, right? Just somebody that you kicking it with. Just some dude that you used to work with and now you dealing with him. So, my thing is, did you explain to him what kind of relationship that you're looking for? Does he know? Did you guys have that conversation? If you did not, and you expected him to be a mind reader, then what are you doing? And this isn't about what he's going to do. This is about what you want. You communicate what you want, and then you let the chips fall where they may. He could either say, yeah, that sounds good. I'm all in. Or he can say, well, I'm not right there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there right now, or I have no interest in being there. I just want to be, be a player and get around and do my thing. You cool and all, but I'm not trying to be with one woman right now. That's most likely what you're going to hear, judging by his activity. So, for women like you who just got out of a long-term relationship, you want to turn every guy that you date into a boyfriend. You don't understand this how you really date. You should be dating 2 or 3 dudes, not just him. You should be, dealing with more than one person. And then you wouldn't be getting all stuck on what he's doing and worried about his every second of his existence and him being online and all this old kind of stuff here. He's not your man. Okay? You used to have somebody who is your man, but that's not your man. Get it straight. Your expectations are inappropriate. What he's doing and where he's doing it and how long he does it, how long it takes him to text you back, and all of that is none of your business because you ain't his woman. Okay, so get it straight. Question number 14. This is a male in the 35 to 42 age group from Alexandria, Virginia. Summary of issue: am I overreacting? So my girlfriend had to go on a business trip with her male boss to New Orleans. We texted back and forth most of the trip to stay in touch. One evening, she stated that her day was over and was in for the evening. She and her boss had separate rooms. A little while later, she informed me that her boss had asked her to go get dinner with him. She accepted and told me that she was going. After dinner, they decided to go for a stroll and see the sights. They saw a street side fortune teller and thought it would be fun to see what they had to say. He said they make a cute couple. A little while later, he makes a comment to her about attraction they may have for each other. In case you're wondering about age, everybody involved is in their 40s. She says nothing, but I'm just not comfortable with this whole situation. I feel like she shouldn't have went out with him. What are your opinions and thoughts, ladies? Please help, as I'm struggling with the feeling that this is all wrong and she shouldn't have went with him. Oh, okay, that's it. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Everybody in their 40s, she ain't your wife, right? This is your girlfriend. What's that mean? Nothing. That means that you ain't staked no claim. You know what I think girlfriends and boyfriends are? I done said this 900 million times. It's just you just got to stake on somebody's booty. That's it. That's all. You ain't married. You don't have no legal ties to that person. They can leave you 5 minutes from now and it's over. They don't owe you shit. They don't owe you an explanation, a thought, a telegram, a smoke signal, nothing. Not even a goodbye. You know why? Because they're not married to you. So, you trying to put wife responsibilities to your ass on a girlfriend. If you wanted a wife and you want to have all them kind of ties to somebody, you should have popped out with a ring and married her. But don't know. You want to have the best of both worlds, and that's why you're getting your face cracked right now. So, you know what I'm going to tell you now? Suck it up, buttercup. If she end up leaving you for the boss, that's too bad, because if you really wanted her, you should have made a move. You want to just sit up there in your 40s and date people forever and fucking ever? What you think? What woman is going to want to be bothered with your ass, and that's the plan you have going? So, like I said, if she finds a better thing and she moves to it and dude's ready to make a move and she goes over there and makes that move with him, then you just messed up your own life. Don't complain to me. You should have made a move. These dudes kill me with this, wanting to date somebody 77 years and then get mad when some other dude rolls up and try to get in the picture. That's what you get. Should have done something about it. Don't want to have the best, be single, but then have some woman on lockdown. No, motherfucker, you don't get to do that. She's single and so are you. So she can do what the fuck she wants to just like you can. Question number 15. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Where the hell is that? Summary of issue. Why would this guy behave in this way? Because he's crazy. Is this a trick question? My friend has an online dating app, and when she was browsing, I saw a guy that I was attracted to. I requested my friend to get his number for me, and she gave me his number, and she deleted him after that. I chatted with the guy, and we exchanged pics. He told me he deleted his dating app profile, and he wants to focus on me. He also asked me if I can stop talking to other guys so I can focus on him. Long story short, I believed him, and I stopped talking to all my other guys. Well, you dumb. He told me he takes D. I never dated someone who takes D's. We were meant to meet, and one day before we met up, one of my colleagues saw him on the dating app and she matched with him. He told her he is looking for Whoopi and he asked for her number. My colleague reached out to me and told me about him. I told him not to contact me because I don't want to meet him. I dated another guy for a month and our relationship was going well. I contacted the other online guy again through text. I texted him and he told me that he would love to meet me and he still likes me if I stop talking to my current boyfriend. Oh, God. I was attracted to his pictures, so I told my current boyfriend I was not ready for a relationship and we split up. I contacted the online guy, letting him know that I'm single now, and I broke up with my boyfriend because of him, so let's meet. And he responded, why break up with him when you never met me, and blocked me from his social media. And sometimes he responds to my messages after a week or so. I know he's not interested, but I'm trying to understand why some people get pleasure treating other people like crap. I understand I'm stupid and foolish, but I was just honest with him that I was attracted to him. Shall I block him? Thank you, Deb. You don't need to block him because he already blocked you. You kind of like too little too late. And girl, please find you some self-esteem and stop letting men that you haven't even met and don't even know, like, control your life. He talking about, well, I want to concentrate on you and you haven't met this motherfucker yet? How, you that dumb that you would fall for a line like that? He said, I want to concentrate on you. You're supposed to say, uh-huh. Yeah, sure you do. Well, that's not going to happen. Have it, just shoot it down, just laugh it off. Just tell him about himself. Say, do those lines really work on women? Of course, it worked on you, but I mean, for me, I would have said, do those lines really work? Do you really get women to do that kind of stuff? And then he would have laughed because he got busted. It's like, well, I'm not doing that. If anything, I'm going to go find me 10 more because I need like a backup team to the backup. I don't know. This is kind of embarrassing that you're this dumb. And how old did you say you were? I'm scared to look. 22 to 27 from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Don't you think you're a little old for this? Sound like some teenage shit. Anyway, question number 16. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Elgin, Illinois. And another female, 22 to 27. Oh, what is this? Some of the issues. I think I'm scared of my best friend and I don't know what to do. So I really like my best friend and all that, but times I wonder if I really do. The friendship is weird. For starters, I never brought up being best friends. She just sort of started calling us that. Also, there's a history of her doing things for me that I didn't ask for, but of course I appreciate. Then she turns around and throws it in my face. Oh, one of them kind. She's very unpredictable, and there are situations where simple posts of mine have made her angry. I tend to post a lot of jokes, and she gets offended by the ones that rub her the wrong way. Too fucking bad. There's also no telling what types of texts I send that may make her blow up. Because of this, I tend to get anxious whenever she confronts me with something, even as a joke, because I know it can go left quickly. For example, I've been going for a type of training every morning recently. I'm a student, and she always brings this up. I've forgotten her talk instead of I'm just trying to meet. I like my own space a lot, and I'm not really in the mood to see her, to be honest. I saw this message some minutes ago, and I've been anxious ever since. It's like my heart tempo's changed, and I'm suddenly scared of the unknown. I have a history of anxiety-inducing friendships with toxic people. I'm afraid I've got myself into that cycle again, especially since I'm beginning to basically cut her off when I graduate. It's not like I'm a pushover. I stand my ground and do what I want. Plus, I have okay and nice friendships with some other people. I don't know why I just seem to be bad at picking besties or going with whatever picks me, because that's how it has always been. Well, then get you some therapy so you can change that. And you posting something that don't have shit to do with her and she gets mad. You know what you're supposed to do? Say, well, it wasn't about you, bitch. So shut the fuck up. I don't care what you think about what I post. You don't like what I post, and stay your ass off my social media pages. There's the answer to that question, right? And then, you're going to send her text and she's going to blow up. Say, how about this? I'm going to never text your bitch ass ever again. How about we do that? Because one thing I'm not going to be worried about is your feelings about the fuck I text. So, yeah, I'm about to hang up on you and I'm about to block your bitch ass. And then you're not going to text me no more and I'm not going to text you. Now, that's what we're going to do. So then, she going to tell you a student and you say, I've forgotten about her talking. It's like, bitch, I never thought about you in the first place. You the one trying to put a claim on me talking about we besties and all that old desperate ass shit. I didn't ask you to be your best friend. I didn't want to be your friend at all, ho. And then, so then she's like, well, you getting all anxious. Your heart history, your heart is beating tempo has changed. And you're getting anxiety and all sorts of shit here. What is it that you're getting out of this relationship? Get rid of this cow. I know, that's probably why I only have one friend. And she's a Leo. And my cousin's my other friend, and she's a Sag. Because we understand each other. But, my temper is I just can't with people like this. As soon as they start infringing on me, calling and they talking about, you could call me sometimes. I know I could, but I don't. You know why? Because I want to talk to your bitch ass. I have nothing to say to you. The day when I have something to say, then I will call. But don't be complaining because I haven't called you. What we going to do, sit there and breathe on the fucking phone? Like I told you, I don't really like, that's right, Giggles, I knew you was something like that. It's like, I don't really talk on the phone that much. My phone, like I lay my phone down, right? I don't even know where that phone is. I have trouble finding my phone. Luckily, I had this thing on my little watch. It's Find My Phone feature. You press it and it beeps to the phone, so then I could go dig under paperwork and find where I laid my damn phone. But people who have their phone like it's on their hip because they just constantly carry it in their hand because they can't stay away from their phone. My phone, I've left my phone in people's cars. I left my phone up at my cousin's house in Vacaville. She had to mail it to me like 2 weeks later. I mean, I'm not a phone person. I'm just not a phone. When I was a teenager, I was, but I'm not now. I just don't want to be bothered. So somebody talking about they might, get mad about my text and all that kind of stuff. I'd be like, oh my God. Yes, I know you are crazy because you were sad. That's all you had to say. I already know the answer to this. I can fill in the blank and get an A on this test. Let's move on to question number 17. This is a male, 35 to 42 age group from Colorado Springs, Colorado. The female is 22 to 27. Summary of issue. My coworker sent me nudes via text and wants to cheat on her husband. Should I tell her husband, no, you little bitch, you sure shouldn't. I'm in no way, shape, or form want to pursue a relationship, especially not with somebody who would cheat. So basically, I pick her up and drop her off from her house, and she only has one car. I call her to let her know I'm here. I've been acting as her transportation for a few months. For the most part, it's been fine. We get along pretty well. I offer to help out since her home is on the way to work. But lately, she's been making attempts to flirt with me, but I've ignored it. But it escalated on my birthday yesterday. She sent me a happy birthday text, and she sent me another message stating that she had a surprise for me. I opened the attachment. It was one of her bare ass naked. Okay. Obviously, I ignored it and I deleted it. I replied, aren't you married? Why send me that? What the fuck? It's been awkward. I don't want a relationship with her, especially since she's married. I know her husband, and sometimes he brings her lunch and picks her up at night. He seems to be a good, hardworking guy trying to work 2 jobs. I don't know if I should just ignore it or what. Part of me feels I have to. I would want to know my SO was cheating, but on the other hand, I had no proof since I deleted the text. And I feel this would end badly for all parties. What is my next move? Yo, bitch, she didn't cheat. She sent you a naked picture, though, but she didn't cheat. So you escalating words here. So that was like a test to see if she probably could cheat or what your interest was. But I'm going to tell you this because the Oscar could be some freak shit where her husband's in on it and, he's more interested in you than she is. But see, you don't know. I'm telling you, I've seen too much weird shit. That's probably why my mind goes in these odd places. You're not going to do anything except this. You're going to tell her, look, I'm doing this out of the kindness of my heart. But right now you're disrespecting me and you're disrespecting your husband. That was your one shot. Don't you ever do or say anything like that to me again, or this situation here will come to a screeching halt and you'll just have to figure out how to get to work on your own. And am I making myself clear? And she's going to say yes. And she's going to be very contrite. And then she's going to stop acting stupid. That's what you have to do. But again, another man with no nuts and no spine, and you sitting up there wanting to be a little bitch and run and tell her husband, oh, your wife sent me news. You're not going to do that. You're going to check her because she's the one who did it. And if, like I said, if it's some funny stuff where, he was trying to get you over there so he could jump out the closet and onto you, you're not going to let that happen. So you're going to shut it down. So she's going to go home to her husband and say, well, he didn't bite. And they'll be like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like dudes who do this. Yeah, a coworker, he picks her up and takes her to work because I guess her husband works 2 jobs and he has the car. But I'm like, motherfucker, you working 2 jobs. Can't you get her at least a bucket or something? You need to get her a car. That would be the thing. To tell her, I'm only going to be doing this. And so, after that, and you say, and then for the thing, I'm giving you notice that we will do this until the end of October. And you better have a ride by then because I'm not going to do this anymore. We're going to do this till October, whatever. And then we're done here, ma'am. That's what you need to do. And stop dealing with this chick. She's very unsavory and untrustworthy. And when you have somebody untrustworthy in your life like that, it ends badly. Question number 18. This is a female in the 35 to 42 age group, Caucasian from Los Angeles. The male, 35 to 42 as well, also white. Survey issue. Am I wrong for being insulted that my boyfriend, quote, doctors up every meal that I cook? Deb, he doesn't even taste it first. Who does that? I do most of our cooking, especially dinner, because I go to work and get home 2 hours before he does. And I love to cook. Every single one of my family and friends and practically strangers have all complimented my cooking. I have 2 huge pantries full of every herb, spice, fancy salt, and sauce that you could possibly want. I make curries and roasts, whole roasted poultry, fish and seafood, anything I make, and jar my own pasta sauce from scratch. I make all of my own marinades and glazes, and I can cook French, Asian, Italian, and Greek. Okay. Well, there must be some problem. It never fails, though. I spend all the time cooking, and then I have to sit and wait while he grabs hot sauce, pickled pepper, steak sauce, and dumps it on whatever I have made, from basic bacon and eggs up to beef Wellington or lamb chops, from day one. I've asked him at least try it before he does that. He still does it anyway. Tonight I made burgers because it's hot outside. I added everything he likes to his, made out plates, and go sit down and look around and fight him in the kitchen, roasting peppers over the stove burner. Then he gets steak sauce out of the refrigerator and putters around for 15 minutes gathering other stuff to pile on his burger before he finally sits down to eat. He does this every damn time. He even dumps cayenne on popcorn and green chilies on masticac, whatever that pasta is. Frankly, it's starting to grate on my nerves. I have acid reflux, so I have to lay off certain hot stuff, but I always add it to his if the dish calls for it. I try to explain to him that he's starting to hurt my feelings, that adding hot sauce to eggs or mustard to a burger is one thing. It's another to start dumping ghost pepper sauce on miso salmon or holding up dinner for half an hour. Okay, dude, I have a suspicion dude is not quite as white as she's making out to be. Okay, while you roast peppers to mix in with loaded potato soup, it's making me want to stop cooking altogether. By the way, we are both white Americans, but he was raised in a black Latino neighborhood in New York. Okay, I knew it had to be something like that. Because he ghost pepper sauce, your typical white guy don't know about ghost pepper sauce. You see what I'm saying? So I knew it. All right, ladies, this is the deal here. You talked about the food that you like, the stuff that you cook, but you're not cooking the kind of stuff that your man is used to eating. See, that's where you messing up. Now, you want him to appreciate the meals that you cook. You have to cook some of the food that he grew up eating. You're not doing that. He didn't eat French food. Okay, he didn't eat, I don't know, Greek. I mean, he might have eaten some Italian and made some Asian. Usually they have like shrimp fried rice is about it for most black folks. Broccoli beef, you know what I mean? They're not real adventurous on the Asian tip. But beef Wellington and lamb chops and shit like that, they don't make that down in the hood. Ain't nobody got money for no fucking lamb chops. You tripping. And you like, and you upset because he doctors it up because his palate is used to a certain flavor blend. Spicy, well seasoned. It's everything that you said. It's like he's used to spicy food. And once you said that where he's from out of New York, that's why. So if you want your man to eat your food without adding stuff to it, cook stuff like some Jamaican curry. Okay, and it's got to be hot. You got to use Scotch bonnet peppers. Okay, it's got to be something like that. You're gonna make him some, I don't know, the collard greens and stuff. You're gonna put them serrano peppers in it and everything. You know, give the man the kind of stuff that he's used to eating, and then he will happily eat your food without adding stuff to it. But I mean, just reading all the examples that you gave of food, you know, not one of the things is the kind of stuff that he grew up eating. Not one of the things that you listed. And then you mad because he want to flavor it like the food that he grew up eating. You know, men don't really change. Yeah, she might be seasoning it, but she said she can't eat spicy food. So even if she puts it on his food, you know her idea of what's spicy and his idea if he's using ghost pepper sauce. Deb don't even fuck with ghost peppers at all. The most I could do is the Scotch bonnet, and I'd be kind of like, you know, dancing around with them. But ghost peppers are like the magnificent fire of the earth, and I'm not messing with them because I know I'm just too much of a sissy. I can't do it. But this dude, and he's white. This is what he grew up eating, and she don't get it. So, lady, that's what I'm telling you. Look in some cookbooks or online or something, and you go and find you some great. Try making him some Jamaican curry, chicken curry, and you load that shit up with some Scotch bonnet peppers and watch him sit down and scarf it all down and say that was the best meal that you've ever made. You got to do something different. Some Haitian food, some Trinidadian stuff, you know, some Cuban something with some spice and stuff to it, and the kind of spices that they use. Not that shit that you make using French food. Ain't nobody like that shit. That shit is nasty. Shit, even French people don't like French food. Question number 19. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's European/white, a Leo from California. The male is 28 to 34, Latin, X from Pisces. I love it when people fill out the whole thing. Most people they leave those blank because they're optional. Summary of issue. I am worried for my boyfriend and I's future together. Deb, this is a long one if you have time. Candace, I cut this shit way down. Okay. So that means she wrote long way and Candace cut it down. I wonder how much. Let me see how long this is. Still looks long, but okay. My boyfriend and I have been together now for a year, friends for a year before that. My frustration lies with his lifestyle. He currently lives with his aunt, is very reliant on his parents to do things for and help him. They even helped him get his current job. His parents had bought him multiple adult gifts such as a laptop and a bike, and his parents then sold them because he didn't use them. When he needs access to a computer, he goes over to his parents just to use theirs, or if he wants a bike, he'll just use theirs instead of having his own. He has almost nothing of his own except a car, which his parents helped him buy, even though he makes the payments. If he can't, they will. Whenever he has issues, they help him, such as loan him money when he comes up short. He's on his parents' insurance and phone plan, and he pays them instead of paying bills himself. Literally, all of his bills are set up through his parents. He doesn't have rent since he lives with the aunt. He also has never finished college, and his job is very low paying. He works for the state, so it will go up automatically. I asked him if he would consider moving out because he has lived on his own before. He says he's waiting on me until I'm ready to move in together. I told him I'd like to see him be more independent by moving from the aunt's house and not relying on his family so much before we moved in together. I live alone in an apartment my grandma owns, and it's a good deal, so my family, in a way, helps me too. But I don't want to sound like a total hypocrite here. But I do pay my own bills. I finished college. I earn my own job. I cook, clean, grocery shop, have a high-needs pet, have several hobbies, have a therapist, stay healthy, etc. On one hand, he's a very sweet, nice person, is caring and a good listener. On the other hand, he isn't very clean. His room and car are messy. He's overweight, doesn't exercise, and doesn't take good care of his stuff. Sometimes I just worry that he lacks his own identity, interest, and taking responsibility for his life. I've talked to him about this sometimes. He gets defensive and says he'll do better, but then he doesn't. He still stops by multiple times a week for help with stuff. What do? I really like his family, but I think he's too dependent on them versus just being close to them. Will he grow out of this? Am I overreacting or being too critical of him? He does have a job, and he doesn't have a spending problem or anything like that. He just hasn't done much planning for his future. Thanks for your help. This is a loser. This is an immature boy. That movie called Failure to Launch? This is your boyfriend. Now, why are you giving sex to a man who is not a man? So now we got to make this U-turn and look at you. What the fuck is you doing? Okay, you doing all this stuff as an adult, and then you reach behind you and trying to waste your time dragging up a dead weight fool. You cannot be that desperate for some dick, because that's what it sounded like. I'm sorry. There's nothing, this guy's not bringing shit to your life. Nothing. He's not even bringing shit to his own life. His parents and his auntie are doing everything for him. I don't understand what it is that you think you're going to get out of this and why you continue to waste your time with this clown. Break up with this fool and go and find a real man. Okay, find you a man who's at your level. Find you a man who's got some shit going on, who's got some plans for the future, who's making stuff happen, who's a mover and a shaker. A guy who's like, you can be excited about being in his life and he can be excited about being in yours because you guys are on the path together to greatness. This fool right here is a loser. He's going to continue to be a loser, and he's going to, he wants to like move in with you so you could switch from the role his parents are taking care of him to you taking care of him. If you did that, you would be the biggest fool on this planet. You need to get rid of this dude. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what you're doing. Why your parents haven't counseled you on this particular aspect of selecting a mate. But I'm glad you had the sense to write. And I'm telling you right now, you're wasting your life and your energy, your time, your money, your body, everything on somebody who's a loser. This guy is a joke. He's a child in an adult body. And you just up there trying to raise him. What can I do? You're not being too critical. You're not being critical enough. You need to be a knee in his ass and tell him, you know what, you just a fucked up individual. I got to go. And send him back over there to his mama. Question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from the UK. Another female, 28 to 32, and a male, 28 to 32. So I have an issue. My friend's partner is being weird and suggestive around me. Hi, Auntie. I'm 24 and autistic. I'm pretty good at dealing with it, but some social situations are difficult for me to navigate. This is one of them. My friend of 5 years, who is 5 years older than me, started seeing Jake. This is a fake name, and he's about 32, I think. I believe it was about 6 months ago. Usually on Friday nights, our friend group meets for tabletop gaming, and for the past few months, quote, Jake has been part of the group. No one else has said anything, but Jake has been acting weird, especially when it's just me and him. Example 1, he asked if I was a model, then said I should consider them, would do well on internet modeling. Okay, so Jake trying to set you up to pimp you? Is that what's going on? I asked what he meant, and he said women can make a lot of money doing that sort of thing. You poor thing. You poor, poor thing. At least you had enough sense to write, though. We had a bit of small talk about influencers, and then he started talking about OF. You know what that means. See, I knew it. I knew it. He's trying to pimp her. He then brought it up again the next 3 times I saw him, acting as if each time the previous conversation hadn't happened. He literally asked the same question, do you model, each time to start the conversation. Example 2, Jake and I like plays while the rest of our group isn't interested. We've been to the theater 4 times together. So you going on dates with Jake? You might be autistic, but I know you're not stupid. What the fuck is you doing? Okay, you say the man is weird around you, and then you're going to go traipsing off to the theater sitting in the dark with this motherfucker? Are you out your mind? What the fuck are you doing? You sending a mixed message. I'm just going to stop right here because already I can see this took a left turn and you doing some dumb shit. You're not going to go anywhere with Jake by yourself from this point on. That's over. That's shut down. You're not going to do it. This thing Jake asking you for model, Jake is trying to set you up so Jake can pimp you on the internet. You don't understand. That's where pimping has gone. Okay, it's not so much on the street corners like it used to be, especially after COVID. No. They've gone to the internet to do their stuff now. Okay, and that would be you because you're too naive. You calling Jake a friend. Jake is trash, garbage. Okay, you don't need to be around this fool at all. And like I said, you're not going nowhere near him. Let me see what else you wrote on here though. But just these first 2 things alone, Jake has already torn his drawers with me. Jake asks me every time if I'm still not interested in having children. He has 2 kids from a previous relationship. I'm not good with children. I have sensory issues. And I say no every time. He still keeps asking. And I'm not sure why. He also keeps suggesting me, him, and the kids hang out without my friend. I say no every time. He compliments me often. I told him about my autism diagnosis. What the fuck you do that for? See, big mouth telling people all your vulnerabilities and stuff, giving them ammunition. I was told that Jake broke up with the mother of his children due to domestic violence charge. Okay, this guy just going from bad to worse. So let's see how you conclude this hot mess. Considering how meaningful that conversation from example 5, which is the one about her telling, telling him that she had autism, to me, and the fact that he doesn't remember, along with the supposed allegations of domestic violence, I'm worried. Am I interpreting this situation all wrong? Is it even my place to bring it up? And how the heck do I do that without my friend being hurt? You don't worry about her being hurt. You worry about you being hurt. And what you need to do, I mean, I don't know what this friend group is all about here. Most of the problems that come into this column come from young ladies who are involved in friend groups. Fuck them people. You need to find you some new friends, okay? Because if they're not seeing, not reacting to how Jake is talking to you and the stuff that Jake is doing, and they feel like it's okay, you could be a victim right in front of all of them, and none of them are going to try to help you because they think that it's okay. I want you to understand what you're dealing with here. You have, a special needs situation. Okay, you need to be around people you can trust. Not one of these motherfuckers can you trust. Not your friend, because she's stupid and got low self-esteem to have a boyfriend who's all up in some other woman's face like that. And she ain't said nothing. She seemed to be okay with it. She keep letting it happen. You, who just goofy and don't understand what the fuck is going on and what people are saying to you. But like I said, at least you had enough sense to write. And then all them people and the rest of the people who just apparently seem to think this is okay. Get away from those people. You need to start fading away from them. You're not going to go to every Friday night. You're going to stay your ass at home and play games with your board games with your family. And start working on getting you a new group of friends. Because these people are not cool at all. At all. And don't let them come to your house either, especially when your parents aren't there. You'll be by yourself. You're not going to do that either. And this may seem like you should know this, but I'm not taking any chances, so I'm telling you, you're not going to do that. Okay? You're not going to let anybody in to where you could be pinned into a situation and you don't understand what's happening because of your autism and it end up being a victim. Okay? Listen to me carefully. Do what I'm telling you for your own safety. Question number 21. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. Whew, Lord have mercy. African American from Baltimore, Maryland. Summary issue. If the guy says he's not looking for someone, quote, that he's looking for someone, quote, outdoorsy, which I am not. Should I move on? Move on for what? Okay, you like him, and does he like you back? Let's see what's happening here. I met this guy through mutual friends. We'd only see each other sometimes in a group setting. I'm not sure if he was directly letting me know he's not interested, but he recently told me that he wants a girl who is outdoorsy. In the past, he asked me about camping, etc., and I said no. I've never told him that I like him unless he's picked up on it. He says he wants someone he can go on hikes with, etc., which isn't me. Should I keep getting to know him in the hopes that maybe he might like me once he gets to know me more? Or just leave it all together? Surely if you really like someone, you could look past having different interests. No, you could not. If that's his stated goal, he wants somebody to do these things that he enjoys with him, and that ain't you. Okay, now, see, the thing you was stupid was, if you like camping and all that stuff, and you said no. How do you know? Have you ever been with your ass from Baltimore? I doubt it. You've probably never been camping. You don't have the first clue what camping is about, but you already dismissed it like so many black people do because you don't want to, you're scared. You're scared of what's new and different, so you say, oh, I don't like that. I don't know nothing about that. You're never going to know until you try it. So your answer should have been, I don't know. I mean, it sounds interesting. I mean, I've always seen movies and stuff. It's always seemed like it was fun, but I've never had the opportunity to go camping. That's what you should have said, even if it wasn't true, you dummy. Or, I haven't gone camping since I was a little kid. I just really don't remember it that well. That's another one where you can get away with it. Ooh, you girls just kill me. You just fuck up your lives so much with your big ass mouths. It's like you have to experience life to know what you like and what works for you. You cannot shut yourself into a box of the urban decay that is Baltimore, Maryland, and think that that's all there is. And that if it's not from Baltimore, you ain't never seen it, you ain't never done it, nobody has seen it or done it, then that means it's bad and you don't like it. That's the mentality. I ran into that when I went down to Houston. And I just thousands of people with the same mentality. Oh, I don't know about that. You know, that's weird. That's I ain't never had that before. That kind of attitude. I ain't never done that. You know, black people don't do stuff like those. Are the kind of things I heard over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over and over. And then you go online, it's the same shit now. You know, because online wasn't. I went to college in the late '80s, so that wasn't a thing. The internet wasn't the big thing until a few years later when AOL hit. But this is a problem. This is a problem. It's what you sound like you already fucked it up. The only thing you could do is if you see him next time and say, I don't, I said that I don't like camping, but you know what it really is? I've never really been. And I probably shouldn't have said no. I probably should have said, well, I'm unfamiliar with it. So can you tell me, what is it you like about camping? What is it that you do when you go camping? Do you stay in a cabin or do you use a tent? Do you sleep on the ground? What do you do? Do you go glamping? Like you sleep in the back of a van? Well, how do you do it? Where do you usually go? Do you fish? Do you hunt? What do you do? I'd be full of questions. I would want to know. I would get him talking about it. It's just something that he likes, right? So he's going to have a lot of positive feelings about it as he talks about it. And those positive feelings will spill over to you. But see, you don't have no game. You don't have no feminine wiles. You don't know how to work a man to get what you want out of him. If you like him, you could have been had this dude if you worked yourself right, but you didn't do that. You just shut it down. Well, no, I don't know nothing about all that. I don't know something about you girls. I mean, I could do it, but it's like I don't have the time to be in a relationship right now. I would be so like put out. He's like, oh, spend the night with me and let's do this and then I'll be like, no, you know how much shit I got to do. I don't have time to be looking at you all night. Yeah. I don't know. She's tripping. Let's move on. Question number 22. This is a female 20 to 32 age group, Latina from San Diego, California. The male in question is 45 to 52, and he's white. Summary of issue: rejected coworker acting hostile and aggressive towards me. I need advice on how to deal with this situation at work. I'm 30 years old, and I'm an assistant manager position. And one of the men, let's call him Ben, is 50-ish, and works with me, has been consistently hostile and aggressive after discovering that I was seeing someone. I put, quote, rejected in quotes in my summary above because there really was never anything to reject, which makes it even more difficult to know how to handle this. I would often have to work with him alone at night, and it got so bad I did go to my manager to explain the situation and his behavior, and that I felt extremely uncomfortable and even unsafe. They said if I went to talk to HR that they would have to inform him that I did, and definitely did not want that to happen as we would continue to have to work together. So I just asked if it would be possible to not be scheduled to work alone with him, which was next to impossible at the time because we were severely understaffed. Eventually, I just learned to cope, and I've never let on that I was bothered by his behavior, which seemed to almost make it worse. It's been 6 months of this, and finally they hired another guy. Okay, so now there's 3 of us. I'm so relieved that finally, oh wait, I skipped some lines here. So now there's 3 of us, who the other day expressed to me his concerns about Ben's behavior. I'm so relieved that finally someone else is seeing what's going on because until then, the fact that we are night shift and no one is around, there's no one to see and drastically changes his behavior when our manager is there. Okay, and blah, 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 all this other shit over here. And all of this, any advice on how to proceed would be appreciated. Why has your little ass not gone to find a different job? Please explain that to me. Why would you stay in a situation where you have to work alone with someone who's hostile and aggressive towards you, and you stay there for 6 months? Why would you do that? I mean, even if you had to stay until you found another job for economic reasons, you should have been looking. It doesn't sound like you were doing that. You're just dealing with it and still going to work just regular. I don't understand. That would have been the move to the top of my agenda to do to get the fuck up out of that place with that weirdo crazy man. There'd be no way. Either that or I would have come to work strapped. So he got jiggy, he'd be ventilated. It would be one of them too. And I would just tell the bosses that too, I'm going to have a self-defense mechanism on me. So if he does anything to me, I'm going to drop him. Because you're refusing to take action when I'm telling you how this man is treating me. You're refusing to take action. I'm making note of the date and time that I'm reporting this to you. And I'm going to have my self-defense stuff on me. And I'm telling you right now, if he does anything to try to hurt me or actually does hurt me, I'm going to use it. And then it'll be followed up with a big lawsuit because you did not take action when I'm reporting this as I should under the law. That's how I would have put it to them. And then I would have went in there and he did some jiggy shit and I would have maced him right in the face. Or tapped him with my stun gun was my favorite thing to do. I just been itching to use it on somebody. Just hoping somebody acts stupid so I can pull it out. But so far everyone's been well behaved. I've been so disappointed. Yeah, but I'm not. See, Deb's motto is this, and it's been this way even when I was a little skinny girl. Because, my brothers taught me how to fight. They was into judo and boxing and, karate and all this kind of stuff. So, they was trying to teach me stuff. Who knows, that was so long ago. But, I was little and I could actually do it. But I just always had this thing in my mind that if there was ever going to be a story to be told and there was going to be a victim, the one that was going to be left telling the story was going to be me. I'm going to be the one telling the police and everybody else what you did and how I had to drop you. And it's so sad, but I'm going to be the survivor. And I've always thought that. I've always had that mentality. I'm not going to be the victim. You are. So, in a situation like this, I would have been plotting dude's demise. I'm not trying to be hilarious. I'm just telling you that's just the way I've been. I intend to die of old age, not because of somebody and their bullshit. So, yeah, but I want you to figure out how to, get this new job, do there and stuff. But what about on the days when he's sick? Or what if he gets a better job? What you gonna do? Or if he's another part of the building and he don't see what's going on, what you gonna do? Get your ass up out of there. Working on a night shift like that should just be men, and that should be all that there is there. You shouldn't be there. It doesn't make any sense. Oh, wait, here's another letter. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. This is question number 23. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group. She's European Caucasian from the UK. The male is 22 to 27. Summary of issue. My boyfriend told me that he enjoys getting intimate with men. Okay. Okay. Girl, that's right, Tia. Tia Taylor, you understand, girl. I will be like having crocodile tears. Like, oh my God, it was so awful. I was so scared. Inside thinking I wasn't scared 1 second. But you got to play the game. Girlfriend's boyfriend. Thank you. My boyfriend said he enjoys getting intimate with me. And how would you respond to some shit like that? I think I'd be like, gotcha. And get my purse and get my coat and put my shit in a hefty bag. And I'd be, boop, out. Okay, so and she says, my partner and me were at a barbecue, and because he had been drinking, he opened up to me about the fact that he's been intimate with men before and that he enjoyed it, but that he wasn't attracted to men, so he couldn't be with them in a relationship. I sat with him for an hour talking about it. Really? You had a conversation about that? Okay. And I asked him straight up if he was gay, just because I don't want to be used so that could hide it. And he told me that he wasn't, but that sometimes he gets a craving for doing things to a guy. Deb, I was trying my best to be understanding because I know that sometimes people want to experiment with people of the same sex, but I thought that phase was over by the time people graduated from college. It became a bit of an awkward conversation in the end because I didn't know how to react as he was still going on and on about it. Oh, dude was getting into he was reliving the fantasy in his mind. In my mind, I thought he was saying that he was going to cheat on me with a man just so he could get it out of his system. And I must admit, I didn't react in the best way. I lost my temper and got confrontational. And I asked him if that's what he wanted to do, is cheat on me to go and be with a man. He stomped out of the house and went to his mom's and is now ringing me, getting really aggressive on the phone. I just don't know what to say or do. Please help me. It feels like my relationship is on the line. Girl, your relationship ain't on the line. Your relationship fell off the truck and got run over. That's what happened. Your relationship is cream sauce. Unless you like having a relationship with a man who likes to go and Okay, let me watch my language. But you know what I'm getting ready to say, that they be doing with their orifices. Is that what you want to be a boyfriend that does all of that with other dudes? Because he didn't say do to him, he said do to do, so you know what that means. So, I'm just like, that so wouldn't be me. Yeah, I just want to think with you, Carmen. What relationship? Shut up, ex-church girl. You know what? I don't know you people anymore. I can't with you people. Um, Young lady, let me just try to clarify this for you. Your thinking is a little twisted here. You're thinking about cheating. You need to be thinking about, you know, oral herpes and, you know, all kind of other stuff that could be going on with dude because, you don't know if he's using safe practices. He just talking about he got these cravings and this you're supposed to be your man. So, every time I would think about the kisses that that wouldn't really work for me. I wouldn't want to be dealing with a dude like dude. I'm not saying that it's bad that he can't do it. I'm just saying you can do that, but and be happy. I swear. I love for you to do that makes you happy. You do that until your lips fall off your face. I don't care. But what we're not gonna do is have you go from that over here. We're not gonna do that part. So you go on over there and then you stay over there and then be happy over there. That's what I want you to do. So, and people are like, well, that's so old fashioned. I'm like, fuck you. Shit, you think it's such a grand thing? Then you go do it. You be with his ass. That ain't my cup of tea. I'm not into that kind of shit. I don't want that kind of, that's a little bit too real for me. I want some, give me just some fake old fashioned shit. That's my speed. So what you're gonna do is tell him, I understand. Thank you for telling me. Because alcohol loosens your tongue and it lets people, whatever their inhibitions are, it drops them so they can, say what they really wanted to say. And so you thank him for telling you the truth, and say, but we're going in divergent paths here, and so you want to go left and I want to stay right, and so this is where we part ways. It's been magic, deuces. That's what you do. You cannot tell a man telling you to his face that he likes to deal with dudes, and you think that that's going to be a viable relationship for you, and you just dating. It's not like it's your husband. You got kids with him, a mortgage and a dog, and all these bills and all. It's a mere boyfriend. Okay, so you just drop him just like he was yesterday's old news and move on. Question number 24. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from Phoenix, Arizona. Summary of issue. My parents always want to see my girlfriend whenever they want to meet me. The first thing to say is that my girlfriend and I both live in Phoenix, but not in the same apartment. The second thing is I live in a different city than my parents. They are in Flagstaff, so we see each other maybe once or twice a month. Most of the time, me going up there where my parents live. The problem is when they come to me in Phoenix, absolutely every time they see me, they want me to arrange something for them to see my girlfriend, either to eat out or for my girlfriend to come to our house. For me, it's no problem. I get along very well with them and I enjoy seeing them. But the problem is that I don't like making my girlfriend have to see them every time. She is shy and sometimes sees me with my parents as very formal, although my parents have left her with the impression that this is not the case. But I still know she feels a little uncomfortable and shy around them. I also don't like to make plans for my girlfriend in the sense of telling her that we have to see my parents today, basically messing up her whole day. I don't know what to do because I've told my parents all this and they don't seem to understand why I'm saying this, and I leave them with the impression that she's avoiding them. What sucks is that I'm caught in the middle trying to please both sides. Any suggestion would help. Your stupid ass not caught in the middle. All you have to do is grow a pair. When your parents come to visit, tell them, look, I'm your son, not her. We'll let you see her sometimes, but she's got shit to do. First of all, she got to see her parents. She has friends and she has a job. She has other obligations on her time, and she can't be spending a whole day looking at you. That's all you had to tell them. It's like you'll see her every couple of months or something like that, but to come and ask to see her every time. I mean, I know you like her, but that's inappropriate. It's infringing on her time. That's not right, and I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't even tell her you were coming because I don't want her to be bothered. She's with her parents right now, and that's where she's gonna stay. And I'm not gonna ask her to come over here. And even if she's not with her parents, that's what you're gonna say. She's with her mama. She's with her sisters. She's with her dad and her brothers. They're doing family things. So just lie. And what they going to say? Well, tell the whole family. So they're not going to do that. So you just say, no, she's with her family and I'm with mine. So what are we going to do? That's all you have to do, sir. I don't understand why you making this such a big deal, spineless ninny. I can't stand these dudes with no testosterone and no nuts. You can't even stand up to your own goddamn parents. So what is it that you think that you're going to do with a wife and a family? See, this is, to me, these are kind of litmus tests for men. You can't even tell your own family no, and it's not going to happen. You're going through all these explanations and giving them all these justifications and saying, all you had to tell them, I said no, and that's just not going to happen. Stop asking. That's all you had to say. And you put some bass in your voice and check them, they would stop. They might do it one more time just to make sure that you're serious. And then you repeat the same thing and say, you do that shit again, then you're not going to be able to come down here. You're going to be uninvited. I'll pop in and see you, and then I'll leave when I get ready. But you're not going to be coming here, tying up my whole time like this and bugging the fuck out of me, ask me about her. That's my girlfriend. She don't nothing to you. We're not married, so you don't need to be asking to see her. I'm like, thank you, because, my mouth got out of control today. I was trying to do better for a couple of weeks so the show could run some ads, but I don't know. These people just pushed me to the edge today. So, yes, all donations and super chats are welcome. Thank you very much. Oof, my goodness. Okay. Question number 25. We got 26 left. This is one more. Question number 25. This is a young lady in the 22 to 27 age group from New Haven, Connecticut. Third issue, my close friend is being overly touchy with my fiance and making me uncomfortable. There's that word again. My fiance says that I'm overthinking things. We are a group of friends. See? Friend group again. Hanging out every so often. My boyfriend, now fiance, has been together for a really long time. We're going to get married soon. He introduced me to his school friends about a year ago, and we've been friends since and even live really close to each other. So we meet regularly. The group of friends, including his two male friends and their girlfriends, so 6 of us all together. One of his friends' girlfriends, let's call her B, yes, B as in bitch, is really being overly friendly with my fiance. I have been noticing this for 1 or 2 months now. Earlier, I had never seen B like this before. Initially, B would casually mention how my fiance and her thought matches so much. While playing board games, whenever she partners with my fiance, she would mention what a great team they are. B had mentioned these 2 points on multiple occasions and many other times. We went to a bar recently for B's birthday, for B's boyfriend's, my fiance's close friend's birthday. We were all dancing when suddenly B grabbed my fiance's hand and started dancing with him. He was surprised but didn't say anything. B comes to me and says, see, I'm teaching your fiance how to dance for your wedding. Recently, we went for our wedding shopping, and at the end of the day, my fiance casually mentioned that he was tired and wanted to head home. We were at a shop, and B said to my fiance, wait, I will give you a massage, and started to massage his shoulder and head. This went on for 5 minutes, and you just sat there and watched? You a pussy. I mentioned everything to my fiance and told him it makes me uncomfortable. He says B is just friendly and I'm overthinking and overanalyzing the situation. Am I really overthinking? Should I be worried? No, you should be jumping in that bitch's ass. See, this is the thing that I always talk about, what women don't understand. Thank you, Cece. Which women don't get. When heifers act out like this, it's not about the guy. It's about you. They're trying to test you. They're trying to disrespect you. They're trying to get your goat. It's all about you. It's a female to female competition. The dude is just the tool where she's trying to show you that she's better than you. So what I could take your man, this and that. And what you doing, you just showing her weakness because you're not doing shit. Once again, you never told her to stop. You never pushed her back. You never got your dude and grabbed his hand and pulled him away from her. You never did anything. Let me tell you how this would have went if this was Deb, because I'll tell you, I'm just stupid like that. Okay. Knowing this, like I said, it's not a thing of jealousy. It's a checking a bitch. Okay. There's difference. It's a lack of respect. It's her challenging you. And so if you don't step up and do what you need to do as woman to woman, the shit escalates. And that's what's going on here. Okay. So she says that your thoughts match so much. Say, no, they don't. Because you can't think. Who told you could think anyway? You're supposed to insult her. So you're nowhere near on this level because you can't think. Your ass, no, that is not even one of your skill sets. Okay, so then you see, if you had done some nastiness like that to her, she would have stopped right there on the spot because she would have seen that you wasn't the one to play with. But you just, hey, I'm just to see you now. So she grabs your hand and starts dancing. What you're supposed to do when they out there dancing is go and cut between them and say, this is my man. I'm going to dance with him. Go sit your ass down and go dance with your boyfriend. That's what you're supposed to do. But you didn't do that. And so then she said, I'm teaching your fiance how to dance for your wedding. And you just sit there and just looked at her. Oh, my God. And so then you go, and you going to let some bitch go massage on your man like that? I would have dragged that bitch from that shop and be stomping and kicking her. But you know what you're supposed to do is go over there like she gonna give you a massage, and you're supposed to say, no, you're not. You're gonna keep your fucking hands to yourself. You want to be massaging on somebody, go massage on your dude. Okay, don't touch him. That's my job. That's me. Okay, that's not you. Your ass ain't no masseuse. You ain't getting paid, and you don't have a professional certification. Keep your hands off of him. I see you doing some shit like that again, I'm gonna take you outside. I'm gonna beat your ass. Now, if you had said something like that to her, she would have stopped. You see what I mean with this? You just were very passive, and you came across as very weak, and you were whining to your boyfriend. It's not about him at all. She's using him to get to you because she's jealous and petty, and you're just letting her do it. Ooh, these young girls will have no game. Thanks, Tiff. Ooh, give me a headache. I don't understand how so many young women let people disrespect them like that. What is it that y'all be thinking when the people be doing this kind of stuff to you? That you just sit there and you just let it happen. You don't say anything. Again, you never say no. You never say stop. You never say stop doing that. That ain't going down like that. Bitch, I will kick your ass. You never say nothing to anybody about anything. And you let people steamroll you, bully you, snatch your man, feel all over your dude and all kind of shit. Of course, he's going to say it's no big deal because he doesn't want to make it a big deal because that's his buddy. If he makes it, you not understand the psychology here. He can't make it a big deal like it's something because then it would mean that he, you know what I mean? It's like it's going to create drama with his guy friend. So he's just going along with it to keep the peace. This is you. You can't expect him to step up and do anything with those are his best friends. You have to do it. You're not their best friends, and you don't give a fuck about his best friend's feelings. You care about yours, okay? And so that's why I said, you need to check that bitch and let her know it ain't that kind of party. You keep your hands to yourself. I see you doing some shit again. Don't be surprised when I punch the fuck out of you because I done warned you now, okay? Don't do it again. You ain't going to dance with him. You ain't going to compliment him. You ain't going to talk about how you a team and some other shit like that. Nothing. You're not going to massage nothing. You're not going to do shit. Because otherwise my foot's going to be up your ass. And I'm going to walk around wearing you like a shoe. Do you understand? And she would say yes. And it'd never be the end of that. Especially if you back your shit up. Like grab her by her hair and fling her around Bam Bam style a little bit. Yeah, she's doing the most, but she's escalating. That's what I mean. So she went from dancing, from talking, to grabbing his hand, to dancing, to now she's just doing a full-on 5-minute massage. Do you know how intimate massaging someone's scalp is? And the girlfriend just sitting there, the fiance brother just sitting there looking. I would have broke that bitch's fingers. I see you massage with these nubs you got in them casts that you wearing. And our final question of the day, because I'm these people. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's African American from Washington, D.C. Summary issue. I didn't know what to say. Deb, I was flirting with a girl at a barbecue last weekend. The conversation was going well and it was playful. And when I asked her out, she says, well, give me a reason I should say yes, with a wink. I was so shocked I couldn't think of anything to say. And I just fake laughed it off. I just fake laughed it off and dipped out shortly after with my 2 buddies. What should I have responded with? Dude, how old are you? 22. You must be 22 because you don't have no game yet. She's good. That's some shit I would do. Okay, what you're supposed to do, and I want you to think about this, because this is something that you should have the answer to anyway, on the real tip. Why would a woman choose you? What is it that you got to offer that's so fantastic that she should want to give up her free time and spend money on an outfit and hair and nails to go out with you? What is it that's going to, what you bringing? What you bringing to her life, not that table thing. What are you bringing to her life to make her happier, more excited, laugh? I mean, what? Is have some kind of pleasant new experience? see new and different sights that she's never seen before. What are you going to bring to her life that no other man could bring? And that's why she should be with you, even if it's just for a day. What can you say? It might be something like, I think about, now he wasn't shit, I'm telling you this, he was not, no. But one thing he did do was understand my mind and the kind of things that were intriguing to me. So, you're dealing with somebody who's, I hate to, somebody who's got some intelligence, you have to approach them in a different way because, your usual movie and a dinner is not going to really appeal to them. They're going to be looking for something that's mentally stimulating and something that's different, something that's memorable. How can you come into this woman's life and take her on a date and create a memory? Think about that. And it doesn't have to be expensive. So one of the best memories I had for a date, San Francisco, I don't know if they still do it. This was like in the 90s, in the early 90s. They used to put this ice rink out downtown in Barcadero, like right by the water. They would make this artificial ice rink, right? And you rent the little skates and stuff, so you go out there and you go ice skating. Now, my kind of ice skating is more like falling down on the ice, but it still was fun. It was different. He could really skate, so he was holding me. We going skating. He's skating backwards. He holds my hand and all stuff. It was all fancy. It was cute. We did that for about 45 minutes. That was enough for me. My feet were freezing off, and I was tired of falling down on the ice. So, but it was different. And we was like the only black people out there, okay? Another time, same guy. This is a guy who took me. He's like, oh, I want to show you something. So, I'm intrigued because he's always, something that was stimulating. So we go in the car, and he took me downtown in downtown Oakland, like West Oakland. And you know what we did? We sat there and we parked, and we watched all the white men come in with suburban vehicles, like family cars with car seats in the back, and pick up them little young black and Latino prostitutes and drive off with them. That's what we did. That was our date. Now, I had never seen no shit like that before. I mean, you hear it, but to actually see it happening, people coming in like Range Rovers and Peugeots and, these kind of things, and you can see the car seats right in the back seat. White dudes coming into Oakland and picking up the prostitutes. And the little girls were cute. They were young. And they picked them up and driving off. Okay, now I saw this with my own two eyes. Yeah, that was like our date. But it's like I said, he knew the kind of shit. So you see, this is years later, and I'm still talking about that because it was so different, it was so unique, and it was a different experience. And it was something that I could draw on for, the work that I'm doing now to see, these women thinking their husband's going to the store to buy some milk. Is he really? I don't trust me anymore. I just can't trust him anymore. I've seen too much shit. And I don't know. I don't know where these dudes was coming from. Because you don't know what city people live in and just, by their car license plate or anything. But it was just interesting to see. So if I'm not saying you got to go that far, but he understood, what kind of stuff would be exciting and interesting to me. But you have to understand your date. What kind of things would be interesting and exciting to her? And even if you don't know her taste for sure, if you have some vaguely, it's like, well, I can offer you the night of your life. I can take you to see the stars. Now she might think that that's something sexual. Babe, I'll have you seeing stars, moons, and galaxies and all that. Take her ass to the exploratorium. What they call it, where they show the stars and stuff and everything. That's not a usual date, but it's fascinating. They show you all the galaxies and all the stars, the constellations and all that shit. You sit there and watch all that stuff. I mean, she did see stars, right? You didn't lie. Stuff like that. So, dudes need to think of things that are creative and that are, that would be different for women. And even if she's not sure about it, the fact that you put forth the effort to think of something different will go a long way towards impressing her that you are a guy that she would like to be around because you're exciting. She never knows what you're going to do. And women love that shit. As long as she trusts that you're not going to cheat on her or hurt her physically. But it's like, what you're bringing to the relationship, what laughs are going to happen, what you're going to bring that's going to be new and exciting for both of you, that's safe for her. You got her. She ain't going nowhere. But most dudes are just boring. They put forth no effort and don't do anything. So I'm imploring you guys that are single that you don't want to be for too long. You trying to get the girl. She asked you, that was your opportunity. So you better think of some answers. So next time when a girl asks you, well, give me a reason to say yes, you can say, oh, I got you. And you start rattling off your things and say, I want you to pick door A, B, or C. And then she gonna say A. Then you tell her what's behind door number A. I mean, phrase it in a way that's interesting. Don't just give her the answer. Make her, have to guess, be challenged or something. Do something with yourself. Just do something creative. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I was just like, one of the gifts I gave we were dating. I didn't have any money. Didn't have no money. And I made him a coupon book. I could do graphic design, so I made him a coupon book. And it had stuff in it like, a foot massage, a back massage, some other stuff. I would make his favorite thing. I mean, it just things that would please him and make him happy. And it was stuff I gave it to him for his birthday. And so he kept his little coupons. And then when he died, he still had the last one in his wallet. He never used that one. But that's how much that meant to him. And it was so personal because it had like all his favorite things in it. It's about 15 coupons in there. And he still had one left. I was like, oh, that's interesting. But yeah, that's what I mean. Be creative, guys. Use your heart and use your mind and try to think of how you connect to this woman emotionally. What can you do to bring her into your world? Let her open her heart and make room for you. And that's work. It's going to be work. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it can be done if you just put your mind to it. And you could get you could get the girl that you want. You just got to put in the work to do it. Okay. So that's my advice for today. I answered all the questions and gave you guys some extra energy there. And we'll be back on Friday. We got the Dusty News Network. On the 22nd, I will not be here, so I'm going to move that show to Saturday because it's my auntie's 88th birthday. And we all taking her out to a big dinner. Her birthday is the 22nd. So we're taking her out that evening. So everybody's going to be there. Maybe about 30 people. We're going out to dinner. I don't know where we're going yet, but I will be there instead of here. So I'll see you guys on the 23rd. Okay. So in the meantime, I'll see you on Friday night. If you're not already subscribing to this channel, please hit that subscription button so you can join us for our wonderful programming. We continue our summer programming of DNN and our weekly advice show every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 if you're on the East Coast. I'll see you guys on Friday. And thanks, everybody, for your super chats.